Welcome back to the homestead, everybody. Today I have a special video for you. I'm going to be taking you for a little tour of the finished, or should I say 90% done version of what we call the Nook. So this is a garden shed conversion that we did on the cheap. So less than $1,000 is everything that we have into this garden shed. That includes electricity, that includes all the paint. Everything we used here, I found around our property. Now I know everybody doesn't have access to some of the stuff that I would have access to. We had a bunch of windows donated to us. We had some siding laying around on the house, some extra 2x4s, and so most of this work was done when we were in full-on quarantine when COVID first hit. And so I really had to use the resources that we had on the property because we didn't leave the house for, I don't know, 2 weeks, something like that. And that is when I built most of this. So if you're interested in doing this, let me tell you, you can do it with the stuff that you have laying around. Just be inventive and have fun with it. That's what we really did. So let's get started on this tour and let me show you what we did. Let's start on the outside here first. So we put some planters on either side, and this one started to wither away today. Tried to make the front look pretty with some marigolds, but it didn't like the transplant. Plus these planters we got on Amazon, and they're terrible. They're too small. So that's why they're wilting there. But we did have some creeping Jenny in each one of these, and that looked really pretty because it hung down. So we'll redo that next year. But this is the front. So I made the door behind me out of a window. This is actually mainly a window. So all I did was take some 2x6s and kind of pinch the flange around the window and created a door. Put a little door handle on it. We had this in the basement, and it's just a little handle you push up on, and it latches here. Just a little latch you push up and down on. So it's very simple. And then on the back side, I used a 1x just to slam it in there and pinch the window so that it would stay in. So that's how you make a door out of a window. Again, we didn't have any materials. We weren't going to the hardware store at the time, and so a lot of this really helped us save a whole lot of money. So if you'll notice the stone, so this is a piece of limestone that I harvested from up on the hill up here with our skid steer, and I brought it down and we placed it, and it just created a great little like a floor mat or a walkway, walk-in stone, let's call it. And so we love that. We love that little feature. So the outside is like a lavender purple. My wife picked a lot of these, or my wife picked the color out. I absolutely love the color. Once we got it on and got the white trim on and everything, so we absolutely love the way the paint turned out. On this side we have a solitary bee house. You can get these. We got this one at Costco. I'll leave a link in the description below. Super awesome, well built, and as you can see, we have some solitary bees making their home in some of these spots. So it did get some use this year. And then this casement window is actually only has one hinge on it, and it's meant to be put vertically, but I just laid it horizontally. So these are some of the windows that we had laying around. So you know, it's in a garden shed conversion, so it didn't need a ton of strength here. It's not like it's doing a whole lot. You know, if I was building a house, I wouldn't do something like this, but it's kind of like a playhouse, and it's an adult playhouse. So I felt fine doing stuff like this, just making it work. So we love this casement window. When you're sitting inside, you can unroll it on a nice cool day and let that breeze flow through, or whatever you want to do. We got a little metal bench out here that we set on rocks or stones that we set on pavers over here. And then here's where we run our electricity in. So I did a lot of, I finished the whole shed, and then I was like, you know what, we really need electricity out here. So I did underground line that goes from here all the way to the back of the house over here. And so this whole shed's on a 20 amp breaker. So that's a big bonus. We can do things like run an AC unit. So we got a little window unit. We have electricity inside, so you can charge devices. We have a light inside, all that good stuff. So on the back side, I used the same size window I did for the front door, and then just trimmed it out. So super simple. Just did a little trim around it and made it look nice back here. So as you can see, looking through, now you get both sides open, which is real nice. And then on the back area back here, we actually were growing plants back here, but we decided we don't want to grow plants back here. One, because they didn't grow well in the soil. I had been moving back and forth with a skid steer right here, and it got real compact, and so the soil did not do well. So we got to add some wood chips back here, because you can see the grass starting to come through. But my wife had the idea to add a picnic table, so we absolutely love it. We can sit back here, we can be in the garden, you can be drinking a coffee, whatever it is, enjoying yourself. And then we have a little shade sail back here that I attached to T-posts on either side that kind of looks over the pond over there once that's all done back there. So that's the outside. Let's go ahead and take a look inside, and I'll show you what I did in here. So behind me, this is the casement window you saw from the outside. Let's flick a light on here. This light, we love this light. So we, once we ran electricity in here, we were like, man, we really need just a nice little ambient, like, what do you call those? Einstein bulb. Yeah. Nice little ambient light in here just to be out. If you want to be out here when it's nighttime, then you can. So anyway, the casement window we put in here, and all you do is turn it, close it up, and then it locks on the bottom here. But the cool thing is I grabbed some 2x6s and some 4x4s and just built a little bar seating right here. Added a little electrical box here. Here's the junction box coming in. But you can sit out here, be working on your computer. You can open up the casement window and have a nice little sitting area here while you're looking out over the garden in the backyard where the kids play. So we love this little feature. We set a Wi-Fi speaker in here so you can listen to music. Back here is the window unit that we put in. Let me get a shot of the decor here. So this is all my wife's beautiful eye. We decided to paint the floor. This was just a cheap shed floor. Particle board floor, and we painted it with some heavy duty stain resistant brown paint, and it turned out great. I mean, no sense in spending the extra money on flooring when you're just doing a simple job like this. So, and then we have a beautiful area rug, some nice chairs, and then we have a little shelf over here. You can put your coffee, whatever it is. So we decided to paint the entire interior white, which really helped kind of make it, even though it's very small, this is an 8x6 shed, it made it feel a little bit more open and airy. One thing I am going to do, because this AC unit can't keep up, and then we'll have a little floor heater for the winter. We're also thinking about doing like a little cubic wood stove right here on the wall, which I really want to do. But not all that's kind of worthless, because this thing really needs to get insulated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insulate the inside here and just get that done so that it's comfortable when you're in here, because honestly this summer no one wanted to be in here because it was so uncomfortable. So we have to insulate this thing. It sits out in the sun in the middle of this garden, and there's absolutely no shade around it. So that's something that's definitely got to get done. In the back part of the nook, we put a little curtain. Added a curtain rod, so when you're in here you can block the sun. You can have some privacy if you want to. And then this is where I shoved the window unit, just sitting right there, made a little ledge for it. And as you can see, all the electricals kind of just run all over the place. Not finalized, and honestly, since we're insulating, we're not going to need to do any sort of conduit or anything like that. So we'll insulate and it'll have some paneling or some drywall on the walls here. So that's it, guys. The 90% done version of our Nook, our garden shed conversion for under $1,000. If you guys are interested out there in making one yourself, it is possible. Use recycled materials. Go to your your home improvement recycle store. They're all over the place. You can get very cheap items, and you can make do with what you have. You can make doors out of windows. You can take odds and ends laying around your house and put one of these things together. So we actually found this shed on Facebook Marketplace for $350, but we had to move it ourselves. One thing I will say about moving sheds is you can rent a trailer that doesn't have walls on it, so it's just a flatbed trailer, and there's a thing called a high lift jack, and you can take that high lift jack and just use cinder blocks and jack it up so you can get it and back it up onto your trailer. So it's possible. Where there's a will, there's a way, and that's what we did with our garden shed conversion here for under $1,000. We're super excited about it. Super excited to have a place to chill in the garden. Once we get all of our raised beds done and all of our trellises and everything around here, this will be a nice, beautiful little sanctuary on the side of our property that we can come and just have a chill time and have some quiet, some alone. We have 5 kids and more on the way. We're in the middle of our adoption, and so we definitely need a place to come and retreat every once in a while to get away from some of the noise. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the tour of the Nook, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to stay updated with our future videos. We're actually taking off on a vacation to Colorado this next week, and while we're there, we're going to do a video around some exciting news that we have to share with y'all and where we're headed for the future. So thanks for watching, and we will see y'all in the next video.